it is me, Ms. Kirkley, one of your favorite teachers here at the 7th and 8th grade academy, and if I'm not, I will be by the end of these YouTube videos. Today, we're talking about fractions and fraction rules as a refresher for unit rates and all the things we will be talking about, and we're mainly just going to be talking about how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them, and this is just your quick one-stop shop if you forgot how to do something, so make sure that you watch all the way through. So for adding and subtracting, here are the 3 easy steps. So first things first is you got to find a common denominator. So something that goes into both of the bottom numbers in order to change the fractions over, make an equivalent fraction so you can add or subtract them. So that way they're speaking the same language. Because if they're not, then we can't add them. We can't have a conversation. Then we're going to add or subtract the tops. And then we're going to reduce or simplify. So the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to show us a quick example. So here I have 1/4 and 1/5. Well, because the bottoms are different numbers, the denominators are different numbers, they're not speaking the same language, so they can't have a conversation, which they need to be able to in order to actually talk, you know? So what goes into both, one of the multiples that goes into 4 and 5 is 20. 4 goes to 20 and 5 goes to 20 in our multiplication facts. So 1/4 to get to 20, 4 to get to 20 would be times 5. So that means I'm going to multiply the top times 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. Then I'm going to do 1/5. 5 to get to 20 is times 4. So I'm going to times 4. And what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 1 times 4 is 4. Now I subtract the tops and I'm going to keep the bottom the same. So 5 minus 4 is 1. So my answer would be 1/20. Reduce or simplifying would mean that if I can make this any smaller, I would. If this was a 2, I could, but it's not, so I'm good. Now, we're going to go ahead and multiply our fractions. So multiplying, we just multiply across. We multiply the tops, we multiply the bottoms, and then we reduce or simplify where we can. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 5 is 20. That's our answer, 1/20. If I could simplify, I would, which means if the top and bottom have something that can go into it, it doesn't here, so I'm not going to simplify. Last but certainly not least, we have dividing fractions, and this is the one that throws a lot of people off. So the first step is keep, change, flip, which means I'm going to keep the first fraction. I'm going to change the operation to division, or from division to multiplication, and I'm going to flip this fraction over. And then I'm just going to do multiplying fractions. So I'm going to keep 1/16 just like this. I'm going to change this to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip this over, which is called taking the reciprocal. And I'm going to have 4 over 1. Now I just multiply across. So 1 times 4 is 4. 16 times 1 is 16. And now I have to reduce or simplify. What goes into both 4 and 16? 4. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 4, because what I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom, or vice versa. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that's my answer. We'll do one more example for dividing, because I know that that is a lot to remember all at once. So we'll do 1/20 divided by 1/5. So again, I'm going to keep the first fraction. Let me tilt that up. We're going to keep the first fraction, 1/20, so I'm going to keep that the same. I'm going to change that to multiplication. I'm going to flip that fraction over. Then I'm going to multiply across. So 1 times 5 is 5. 20 times 1 is 20. This can be simplified because 5 can go into 20 and into 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Again, 1/4. Thank you so much. If you have any other questions, please let your math teacher know. Bye.